Hello, and welcome to that Eurovision podcast, Eurovision with a slice of life. My name is Rory, and I'm not doing too bad today. It's very sunny outside. I've just come back from a lovely walk where I've burned my skin once again with all of these hot temperatures that keep coming. And and I'm just ready to talk about a really lovely country that we're going to be talking about. And joining me,
Jazzy, it's sunny in England. However, it's not as hot as it was before. So it's about 20 degrees, and it's just nice. Like it's not like 25 like it had been in prior podcasts. So it's just perfect for me. And I've been out for a couple of walks today, and it's been nice.
insufferable.
It's Rosie. Hi. I have just finished eating my tea, which has been pretty good. I had a sort of trout plus stir fry, which sounds nicer than it is. It was nicer than it sounds. And so now I'm all sort of fueled up and ready to talk all things of today's country.
And hi, it's Tim here. Finished work again. And we're finally just moving closely towards the end of the year, and I'm just tired.
I'm tired. Tired of always being
Losing.
stuck inside.
Just tired of 2020.
Tired of 2020, you know?
Mhm.
It's tired. We're tired, sister.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired of always losing.
Yeah. Well, this week it's going to be a bit of a switch up, actually, because this week we actually have a guest with us. Hello, Dovilė.
Hello.
Hello. So for those of you who don't know who Dovilė is, she is one of my friends. She is actually from the country that we are going to be talking about today, and that country is...
Lithuania.
Woo!
I'll be monitoring and making sure people say only nice things.
only nice things. Otherwise, it would just be like absolute sacrilege, and you'll just like report us to the embassy, and you know we won't be able to visit ever again.
Absolutely, I've got the embassy number and speed dial in case.
Oh, 100%.
Complaints.
So yes, we're talking about Lithuania this week. It's a relatively new country to have actually joined the Eurovision, only joining in the 1990s, and its best result was in 2006 with LT United, and we are the winners of Eurovision.
We are. Iconic. Absolutely iconic.
It was a great number. Can't believe it only came sixth though. Ridiculous.
Proper troll era song that was.
It was a troll, but it was a good song though.
It was.
There's bad trolls and there's good trolls. And this was a good troll.
Yeah.
It was the megaphones that made it.
Mm-hmm.
That and like you know, like when they do like the dance, like you gotta vote, and then he's just like doing like this kind of weird kind of like dance on the spot thing, and I was like, are you okay, hun? Oh dear.
We were very passionate, very ready to win.
And then you didn't win.
Almost.
And in the end,
They didn't.
Scored the best result though.
Yeah, I mean for the best result, it's not bad. But like okay, so just kind of like looking at Lithuania, I think like what are some of your like favorite sort of Lithuanian sort of songs?
I feel like all my favourites are quite recent entries. With my top three being Donny Montel in 2016, I've Been Waiting for the Night. In 2018, I can't pronounce her name with When We're Old. Zama Kuchek. No, I'm not even gonna attempt it.
Oh, I'm gonna rip you apart on that one.
Oh, okay.
And then 2020, The Root on Fire. So they're all pretty recent Lithuanian entries. I feel like these are in my personal opinion, the three best that they've ever done. So it kind of shows that as years have gone on, Lithuania have got better at Eurovision, at least in my opinion. And I feel like 2020, although the contest did not go ahead, would have been the epitome of that, and would have probably been their best ever result. At least it would have deserved to have been. That's not taking anything away from LT United. I would probably rank them my fourth favourite entry.
Just purely for the meme.
Yeah. And we all know from past episodes, I love a meme.
Oh, we love it.
I feel like for me with Lithuania's entries, they're either sort of iconic or they're really nothingy. So the songs that are really iconic, On Fire is fantastic. Please give me more of that. Something by Andreas Pujavis.
Oh no!
Just simply before the line, because of these shoes I'm wearing today. One is called love.
The other is pain.
The other is pain.
Spain.
Pain. It's Spain. Not Spain. It's pain.
It's pain in my ears.
It's pain, but we all say it's Spain.
And my partner and I saw that at any given time ever. I think LT United is iconic. Eastern European funk is deeply underrated, and that gets in my head constantly.
Should have qualified.
Tune.
And the only other one that I sort of go, actually, I really like that as a song and not just sort of for the meme power. Actually, no, On Fire I do really like as a song, not just for the meme. But the only other one I really like has kind of been tainted recently because it's This Time by Monica Linkje and Massive Racist.
In other words,
and
that's
I'm feeling
Formula.
incredibly sad because I love that song so much, but now one of its performers has had to be cancelled.
I was going to include that one, and now I don't.
No, yeah, no, not a good time now, is it?
No.
No. Okay. For me, okay. Third place is. I really don't know what the hate for this song is, despite it not qualifying. I actually quite liked it, and I think a few people in the fandom liked it. It's oh god, I gotta search the pronunciation now because if I f this up, like, come on.
Well, I mean, we have a Lithuanian in guest here. You have to like get it right.
Yeah, okay, so it's Fuse Mark, Reign of Revolution in 2017. But the only thing there's only one thing I like from that.
How dare you?
Yeah, Revolution. But yeah, I mean, shame it didn't qualify, but still, it was quite a good song. Second place would be The Roop because it's such a catchy tune, a TikTokable tune, and needless to say, I actually did try to make a TikTok out of this, but never published it. But yes, I do hope they go back next year if they find a better song. And my first one is funny how they're all in the same decade. My first one, jazzy, I'm gonna love saying that. It's Eva Sesimauskite with When We're Old. She was the first Lithuanian participant I interviewed, and when we got to Lisbon, when I saw her first rehearsal, like when I first saw the way it meant to look on screen, and I was weeping my eyes out. And I'm just really sad that, that person that she was with on stage is currently not with them. I hope they work things out.
Oh, fingers crossed.
It's also kind of a shame because I'd have that in my mind as like, if I ever get married, I first dance to that song. And now it's slightly tainted because it's like, clearly it doesn't mean everlasting love.
I actually was gonna say, if I was ever to get married, I was gonna hire her, and I want her to sing at my wedding, but maybe not because of the fact that
maybe not now after that.
Yeah, maybe not after that. Now I was like, maybe not. I'll just find another Eurovision singer probably.
Oh yeah. How did Tim do Dovilė in pronouncing Eva's name?
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Well, to be fair, I've met her a few times and we've had lunch together. So what did you expect?
I mean, that's very true. I mean, she to be fair, for having such a very long name, she probably was just going to have to like just say it how you want to. So like, yeah. So my sort of favorite songs from Lithuania have to be Ieva, When We're Old. Dovilė and I watched the 2018 sort of semi-finals when we were both in the first year of our uni degree together, and literally like I wasn't sure about it at first, but then like when I saw it on stage, I was just like in love. And when Lithuania qualified, both me and Dovilė just like leapt up and were like, yes, because it was a really lovely song, and Ieva's just a lovely person. As well, I really like Fuse Mark. I think it's so underrated, and I think actually out of everything, it's just a lovely song, and I think I listen to it very often on the radio, not on the radio, on my Spotify. And I listen to it unironically, and I wish that I could pull off a ponytail like how she does. And then this could be also kind of a little bit of a controversial one. One of my favorites as well from Lithuania is 2007, Love or Leave, because I like smooth jazz, that kind of thing that you can just kind of listen to in like a nice jazz bar, and like that's the kind of song that I can imagine would be on there, you know. But yeah, sorry to the Donny Montel stans, no Donny Montel loving here.
I said one.
Yeah, you said I've been waiting for this night.
I think that's literally all the love he got, and it was my third.
Oof. Well, I mean, like, who are some of your favourites, Dovilė?
Well, I've noticed, yeah, Donny Montel wasn't mentioned much, but my Discord was cut out a bit, so correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't heard anybody say Donny Montel 2012.
No.
No.
Yeah, they mentioned Donny Montel. You're 2012. You're the first person.
That was a good song. Well, it was more like a very memorable song, because I remember watching that for the first time at the final, and he did a flip on stage, and then me and my cousin just lost it because we were not expecting that, but we loved it.
He was the Miklas Josef before Miklas Josef.
He was, yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. I don't really have a list of favorites, but I do have a list of memorable performances from the years. So that's one. Of course, LT United is one as well. I remember watching that. And also, nobody mentioned Sasha's song. I don't remember what year he was from, but that was a good song.
2009.
2009, yeah.
Oh, back in the good old days.
He was.
Oh, I do really like that one.
That was a nice song, but I remember he was criticized back in Lithuania for doing a Russian chorus.
Ooh.
Controversy.
How dare they? How dare they?
I feel like 2009 is one of those songs I'd like more if it wasn't in 2009, if you get me. Because I just find 2009 so strong. And it's on first as well, so like I like it when it's on, but as 2009 goes on, I tend to start forgetting about it. Although the fire in his hand in the agent is really good.
And then when he just like does that end, and like at the end of that song where he goes like, he was wasted. He was wasted on 2009. To be fair though, I think if Sasha's song did end up coming back for Lithuania, I don't see why because he's kind of changed since then. I don't know if any of you follow him since then, but like he's actually sort of grown up a bit more, and like he's like completely changed his aesthetic. So hopefully we can kind of have a completely new Sasha song to come back, and we love it.
Yeah.
So like Lithuania is known for its incredibly long, incredibly drawn out national selections. For example, I believe before Lithuania changed its national selection name from to to Pabando Mishnoyo from Eurovision Satranka, I believe that they actually had a run that was about 12 shows, one a week for 12 weeks. And I think, like, that's dedication, you know? I think it, like, what, there's like 8 songs in a semi-final, like, in each show, and then, like, only, like, 6 of which only get through, and then, that, like, it brings it down, like, 2 a week, and then, like, it just comes down to, like, 1 or something like that. I think that's hilarious. I think that's really funny. But since they changed it to Pabanda Mishnoyo, there seemed to have kind of been almost like a complete change in like what Lithuania was sort of thinking. Like, did any of you listen to any of the songs from Pabanda Mishnoyo?
Yes. I did, and
yeah,
it kind of felt like whatever they sent, for the most part, they would have qualified in 2020. And it just felt like a very high class final. I've even started seeing quite a lot of people say it was the best of 2020. I tend to agree, especially when it got to like the final stages. Not so much how the national final was done out, it was still quite long-winded. It was more the quality of songs seemed to really improve like on the year before. And it feels like Lithuania have kind of decided they're not satisfied with the results they are getting, either not qualifying or just qualifying in 10th or 9th or 10th. They want to be doing well, and you can tell they want to win as well. And I feel like to do that, they realised they needed to change the game, and they did. And I just hope they continue it for 2021. I think they will, but like, again, you never know what's coming in the next year, so.
Yeah.
I feel like it says a lot that they changed the selection name to mean "let's try again."
Right.
I feel like that really says a lot about how they actually do want to put some effort in.
See, the thing was, everyone was blind, so that's why Urias was just like, if you want to see, just open your eyes.
Like, I know that I kind of alluded to this in the last podcast, in the controversial opinions. His non-qualification is very controversial, and like there's been Italy and Sweden argued discrepancies, and if those discrepancies were the case, then Urias would have actually qualified in 2019. But I kind of feel like it was thing he didn't, because I don't know if Lithuania would have changed their game if he had. And yeah, although the discrepancies are obviously not a good thing and definitely need to be looked into, and obviously if he should have qualified, he should have qualified. But yeah.
For those who don't necessarily know what's going on, is that there were discrepancies that were detected in the Italian televote, that if they had been tallied correctly, then Lithuania would have actually qualified for the final in 10th place by about 1 point over Denmark. So it really could have been completely different story about what we've been talking about now. So it's kind of nice to see that, even though I guess Urias should have qualified technically, I guess this served as the kick up the bum that really just needed to give Lithuania the chance to, like, that's it, we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep trying, and one day it'll work out well.
Because let's be fair, they could have taken a completely different approach due to the nature of their non-qualification.
Mm-hmm.
They could have even withdrew, and it feels like they've taken a very negative experience and almost turned it into a positive.
Mm-hmm. Sort of how Sweden did with Melfest when Anna Bergendahl didn't qualify.
Yeah, and they literally overhauled that.
Yeah, they completely kind of changed, and it seems to have worked well, because a lot of the songs that were in Pabanda Mishnoyo were really, really kind of chart-friendly. For example, like, not only just The Roop, but you also had Route a Loop, We Came From the Sun, Me and I, Drip, and then even I'm a Lithuanian basketball player.
I actually think that would have done. I feel like that was a joke entry that may have done okay, because I do think televoters got behind that. It was just a catchy enough. Like, it was like almost Say Na 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 effect.
Kind of.
Like, I just think that you can't not smile. I also think Kyra Alligator was a very good song, very underrated in the national final. Again, very chart friendly. A song I still listen to.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it's a really good song. I think just as a whole, like, Lithuania kind of just knows now what it needs to do to, like, be seen as, like, a really strong country. And that's, like, if now that they know, like, what they need to do is kind of be quirky but good and, like, modern, I think that's something that's really working out well for them. And that's why I think, like, they should bring back the group for the final of Pabanda Mishnoyo. But
providing they have the right song.
Ooh. Well,
because I wouldn't want them to send them based on what happened in 2020 if the song isn't as good or even better than what On Fire was, because that could send, I don't know if it could send Lithuania back, but it may not be, I don't know. Like, I just feel like On Fire was like a potential winner, and it's really hard to know where to go. And I guess you can argue the same thing with Daddy Freya and Little Big. That is the argument for them participating again. Is there anywhere to go from where they were in 2020? Because any of these three songs could have won, and like it literally came to it could have been like dependent on the night. And
yeah, I mean,
for a very long time, it definitely felt like the group over the three had it. But like over time, I've kind of realised that tended to be more within the Eurovision fandom.
Yeah, and since then it's become a lot more sort of daddy since then.
Like, I think I said this on a podcast in the past, that in the West it's very Daddy central, in the East it's very Little Big central, but within the fandom it's very much the group. And so it was very hard to tell which one was going to do better.
I mean, Dovilė, like, you have friends who are still in Lithuania, and like, did you ask them about like what they thought of the group?
I have not. I am not sure how it's been received in my home country. I did show it to my dad, and he was very confused. So I think this is a goal.
I mean, I feel like young people get it, whereas like old people are like, eh.
Oh yeah. I mean, even when I first saw it, it took me a few watches to get used to it, because I was also very confused when I first saw it. But now I really like it. I listen to it. I'm in the mood for some
nice, like, kind of like dancing moves that just need to get going. It just kind of casts.
It's on my pom-pom list.
Oh.
To get into mood to get going and get on with my day.
Get on with your day, just kind of do that by just like wagging your hands up in the air. Yeah, that's great. It just kind of throw my mind back to Manchester Calling when it came on, and Dovilė has a video of it. I'll post it in the article, the relevant article for this post, and it was essentially when the song came on and everyone's just doing the dance, everyone's doing the crown motion, and you could just tell that like it was a really sort of strong song, and I really did think that Lithuania could have even like made it to top 3, like with that, and I think that's really something to be proud of. But yeah,
like I feel like the one thing that we have to remember is we're at Manchester Calling. It was kind of before Daffy Mania had taken hold.
Like, they won
we
Song for Kepnin that night.
Well, yeah, but like at the time, it felt like the group were like the big
favourites
that was going on. Because we weren't 100% sure at that point Daffy was going to Eurovision. So,
and then when it got announced, like on the night, like while we were in the event, that like, are you ready to hear the Icelandic entry? And then we found out that it was Think About Things, and I think from then on in, I think that they became like the proper two major ones, I think, between Iceland and Lithuania.
It was always the big question, which one's going to do better?
I do think Dadu probably would have done better than Lithuania, but I think that's because it had more, like, you could see it more in the charts more than the Roop, perhaps, because it had that kind of more quirkiness to it. But
yeah, I reckon the Daddy song was more relatable, maybe because the Roop was very original, very maybe like art poppy. Whereas Daddy's song is like, I know plenty of people who just listen to it like it's a song, like, yeah.
Just outside the Eurovision context.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, even the locals are getting involved. We love it. But say if in Lithuania did end up actually managing to win it, where would you love to see it hosted? I think
Kaunas.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
That'd be great.
It's just because it's great, because it's like, I think, like, obviously there's lots of different cities in Lithuania that could host it, because obviously we've seen Eurovision Sutranka being held in Klaipėda and in Vilnius as well, and of course in Kaunas. And I think they have the capacity to host it. It's like Lithuania is the largest country in the Baltic like area, so I think, you know, they need to flex their muscles a bit on Latvia and Estonia, just being like, ha ha ha, I've got better arenas than you. But who I don't know, if you know any sort of Lithuanian like artists or anything, but who would you love to see kind of either return for Lithuania or like maybe try to compete for Lithuania, maybe, if you know anyone?
There was in the national final in 2019, where I can't remember her surname. It was Monica, and she had a song that I really liked.
Oh, Monica Maria.
Yeah.
She returned this year, and
Yeah.
I forgot where she plays.
And I didn't think the song was as strong this year, but if she sent a song like the songs that she had in 2019, which was, I can't remember I think it was Leave
Light on.
Leave a light on for me.
And then she also had Criminal.
Yeah, if she sent songs like that, I still listen because it's just a song that I really like. And I think it leans onto a point that we made in a previous podcast where if a ballad is good, then it should be the song that's sent.
It shouldn't be the song.
It should.
Oh, it should. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, Leave a Light On was, like, a big... Like, that was, like, the fan favourite, wasn't it? And it was...
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one of hers was a big fan favourite, but that was the one that I liked.
I preferred Criminal, but...
Yeah. I mean, both of them were very good songs, but, I mean, Leave a Light On definitely had more of an impact, for sure. Because I think it was more personal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I will say though that the person that I would like to come back is Monica Linkje, because she needs to redeem herself in a solo song or a song that is with someone who isn't cancelled.
That's fine. That's great.
This Time is a lovely song, and her voice is beautiful, and her dress is beautiful, and I would like to see her back and to leave the trash in the trash.
Ooh, controversial.
Racism is not controversial.
I know. Don't worry. It's not controversial, but it's like.
Well, I was just gonna say that I would also like Monica Maria to come back, because I was meant to say this earlier, that I'm not that sad that Eurus didn't get into Eurovision, because I really liked Maria's Light On. I think that song went to Eurovision, had so much faith in it, and then Eurus came out. I was very sad.
Yeah, but it was alright in the end, because, you know, you could just let your feelings out. Come on. Get your freedom now.
It was good for the memes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
For the That's
that meme of it being like, if you want to see, just open your eyes. blindness rate in Lithuania drops to 0%. That's a good one.
If you want to, what was the next part of that? The next lyric.
If you want to breathe, let's go outside.
Well, you can't do that no more.
That's true. That's very true.
Can't be going outside.
Going outside? No, thanks. But
Yeah.
there's
No.
there's two people in like who have competed in Lithuania's selections that should come back. First one is Ruta Loop, because I think Ruta Loop, she competed twice before, in 2018 and in 2020, and We Came From the Sun was so much better. Like that, I think that was very much a song that people slept on, and I do wish that it got more appreciation because it actually was a really good song. And then the other one, I can't pronounce their name because I can't pronounce Lithuanian stuff, so Dovilė will have to help me out on this. But Antikvarisnis, something.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Antikvariniai Kašpirovskio dantys.
That one. And because last year in the final they sang Majulla, Majulla, Majulla. Like you know that song that they sang about the car.
Yeah.
That was a good song. I mean, like, yes.
So they are pretty popular in Lithuania because last time that I've been back, about a year ago, we went over to my grandma's neighbors and they were playing the songs from that group, not just that one. And yeah, it was a mood.
I think it's kind of cool as well, just in the sense that it's like a sense of like they take the piss out of sort of Slavic stereotypes.
They have similar aesthetic to Little Big, because their songs are kind of meant to be funny, meme, and light-hearted, to be like very serious.
And if I feel like though, if they did have a song that was actually not sort of a joke, I feel like it would be kind of almost strange for that, because like their whole point is sort of like taking the mickey out of Slavic sort of stereotypes. So doing like wearing sort of full Adidas tracksuits and doing Slavic squats and things like that. So I think it would be kind of like, it would be again taking the contest in a like as a joke, but like in a good way. It wouldn't be like a troll entry like Dustin the Turkey would be. It would be like a song like Little Big. That's someone who I'd love to see come back anyway, for sure. So kind of just thinking, like going forward, like what do you think like Lithuania should do? Should you think they should sort of carry on with this like gigantic national final selection process, or do you think they should just like completely just like go back down to like Lithuania just picking one person and then just having a final, or having just internal selection, or just carry on as the way it should?
I think carry on the way it should at the minute, because don't fix what's broken, because the national selections are doing very well ratings-wise for them. And also, that's a lot of entertainment for 12 weeks. So it's keeping people occupied, well, watching for 12 whole weeks in the winter, for you to have something to look forward to in spring, which is Eurovision, of course. And also the fact that with the change that they've made this year, I'm curious to see which direction they would go towards for 2021.
Like, as long as the songs stay high quality, like, because I feel like they're just testing out this format. Because I feel like this national final was a little bit shorter. I think it was 7 weeks
instead of 12.
And I feel like they should keep it like that for now, because clearly the song quality that was in that national final was pretty high, and like they're still like in the testing waters of this new national final. So I feel like they should just keep testing to see what works. Definitely give it another year, because the Eurovision didn't even go ahead this year, so they can't really gauge it with the Eurovision result. But we assume it would have been good. So
I think the main thing is just to bring the route back for the final, so that they have a chance to sort of defend themselves. Because of course they said they were only going to come back if they had the right song, but you know, it's nice. It's nice to have them. Like, it would be cool, and it would just be sort of honoring sort of the promise of having the 2020 artists come back, you know. But
Yeah, absolutely. I would imagine the group is the massive amount of pressure because the song that gotten that they were going to go to was so popular that to come up with a follow-up that's as good or better be hard.
that's it. It's you have to be. There's a lot of stress, definitely for sure, because you don't want to kind of let people down. It's for example, look at Alexander Rybak. Like everyone thought he was going to like win a second time, and then he came out with "That's How You Write a Song," and it was a bit like,
I
It was
cannot.
a bit simple.
I cannot abide that song.
I mean, there was so much potential that Alexander Rybak has, and then he just does it on that, and I'm like, oh. No shade to Alexander Rybak stans, guys.
Ooh.
Like
He-
Fairy Tale is good, and we stand Fairy Tale. But
It is one of my favorite Eurovision songs, and I was quite excited when he was coming back. This song really.
You know.
I wasn't too sad either because he's already won Eurovision, so
Yeah.
for him to lose.
Oh, that'd be so cool, though. Like, hopefully he comes. Maybe he might come back again, like in the near future again, and just completely like
redeem himself.
yeah, redeem himself from whatever That's How You Write a Song was. But sending our love to Alexander Rybak as well after his revelation recently to do with him abusing antidepressants. So hopefully he's doing okay. Sending lots of love and fairy tales to you. But yeah, so do we have any sort of final points to make on Lithuania?
Keep doing the good job, Lithuania. Hopefully we'll be heading to Kaunas shortly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I really want to go back to Kaunas.
Yeah.
I mean, Kaunas is lovely. It looks very nice in the photos. I haven't been yet, but hopefully when Lithuania does end up winning and we can finally go to Lithuania, then we can all enjoy how good it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And I mean,
Not that I need a concrete reason to come back, but that would be a brilliant reason to come back.
it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, sure, Dovilė can all host us at her house anyway. Make a big spread, a big smorgasbord of Lithuanian food. I'm totally down for that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Oh dear. So yeah, that sort of brings us to the end of this episode of That Eurovision podcast. I'd really love to thank Dovilė for coming as a lovely little special guest. Hopefully you've enjoyed your little time on this podcast.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I took some wine about Lithuania. That's what I do.
It's, you know what, you're promoting your national sort of bloodline, and that's all that we stand for here. But also I'd really love to thank Rosie, Jazzy and Tim just for coming along on this fantastic journey. Obviously we'll be continuing on with a couple of these country retrospectives, but we also will have a couple of other opportunities as well for you to kind of get involved. So please, if you have any suggestions as to what sort of topics we should be covering next, please do let us know in the comments below. Please let us know what you think about our opinions about Lithuania. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Please do just let us know down below. It's all a big conversation here. And yeah, so please do follow us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at That Euro Podcast. We're also on Spotify as well, so please do follow us on there so you know whenever you're being notified for a new episode. And yeah, so please do stay tuned because we have a lot more content coming for you. So will we all say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!